I always love it when we can coordinate our pants together. And joining us now, we have Ashley Carter with the Colorado Snow Sports Museum, who got my text earlier about wearing the pink pants today. Ashley, how we doing?
Doing great. Yeah, I'm glad I could match.
Sometimes it works, you know. Sometimes it works out. Colorado Snow Sports Museum, we got a lot going on all the time, right?
We do.
But I mentioned I want to go back in time before we start here. How did that weekend of the Ravinos film go?
Oh my God, it was amazing, honestly. We got to do a private showing with the Ravinos on the Friday night just for them and their plus ones, which was a really special moment to get to see them watch themselves on there and all their history. And then we had 2 public showings on Saturday and Sunday, and they were sold out, standing room only, had it on 2 big screens, all that good stuff.
So awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good reception by the public.
Yeah.
We've got obviously our normal crowd that comes into things, and I think there's a lot of mixed reviews and mixed understandings of the Ravinos, so they got to come in, and I think it really changed their appreciation and their understanding, and so when they see the Ravinos, they have a different respect for them.
For sure, and yeah. I know when we talked to those guys ahead of that, they were so grateful to the Snow Sports Museum for letting them use that space or joining them, so thank you guys for doing that.
Absolutely.
What a cool film and what a cool place to go to watch it. But the Snow Sports Museum, located right in Vail Village, right by the Transportation Center, you really can't miss it. No. What's going on there these next couple weeks? I mean, tomorrow we're doing something.
Tomorrow we're doing something. Speaking of snowboarding, we have a snowboarding event tomorrow. We have an author. He's a New York Times bestseller, Eric Blehm. He wrote a book called The Darkest White, and it is about Craig Kelly. Craig Kelly is known as the Michael Jordan of snowboarding. He's known as the godfather of free riding. He was the first real professional snowboarder. And unfortunately, he died in an avalanche. But there is quite the story about him. So we have the author coming in to talk about that, cover his life, the joy he had within snowboarding and the backcountry side and all of that. And some fun giveaways. We've got snowboards from Burton and 10 Cup and all these things going on.
Oh, it's gonna be so great. And if you're a snowboarder or a skier in general, we have to thank this man for what he did for our sport. A ton of other people obviously progressed the sport, but this man really changed it for us. And so this is a cool opportunity to kind of learn about his story and kind of how he was able to do that, which is so cool.
Absolutely.
And speaking of snowboards, we'll talk a little bit about the skis as well here, but speaking of snowboards, my favorite thing at the snowboard museum is a snowboard that was used in a James Bond film. I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
It was in A View to a Kill, and it's right there, framed in there. We play the clip from it. It's a 1-minute clip, and people will stand there for a while, just watching it over and over again.
I think it's so cool. And then, I mean, there's tons of Michaela Schifrin stuff in there, Lindsey Vonn. I mean, you could get lost in there for hours and not see everything.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, I got to stop talking here, but I just want to add one more thing. One of the best gift shops in all of town.
Absolutely.
One of the best. Is that all the cool little gimmicky things and also some awesome, high quality stuff as well, perfect for something for everyone, right?
Yeah, and speaking of the gift shop, we do an end of season sale. So starting April 11th, it'll be 30% off. We're going to run that through a couple days after Vail closes, so I think through the 23rd. So it's your chance to come in and support us. We are a nonprofit. So the gift shop keeps us a free admission museum so that people can come in and experience all those wonderful things we talked about.
Do you guys still do those history walks throughout the years?
So we do Vail history tours. They're every Tuesday and Thursday, and we will run those through I think today's the one day we don't have a tour guide, so today's not the day. But every other Tuesday and Thursday at 11. It's about an hour and 15 in total, $10 a person, and we will run those up until the Thursday before closing day at Vail.
So cool. What else is going on? What other events do we have coming up?
We've got our 3rd annual Silent Disco at the museum. That'll be April 12th. It is a blast.
Is that in the museum?
It's in the museum. I've got 3 local DJs lined up. One of them is a Ravino, Stenner. He's a Ravino. He'll be DJing there again. And yeah, we just decked the place out with Christmas lights and all the fun stuff. And it's 9 to midnight. It's basically a fun party with no noise pollution because it's all in your headphones.
Amazing.
You get to choose which DJ you want to listen to. We'll have a bar, all the fun stuff.
I'm getting some night at the museum vibes here. Are these mannequins going to come to life out there with the DJs?
I sure hope not.
So much. So how can people get involved, keep track of the schedule, everything that's going on there?
Yeah, we've got everything on our website, just snowsportsmuseum.org. You can give us a call. You can come by. We're open every day, 10 to 6. Tickets for our events tomorrow, the disco, all that are online. Or come on by, we can set you up as well. We also have an Instagram, all the fun things. We're there.
So great. Yeah, you guys really are there. You guys are everywhere. Where are we at in the Hall of Fame?
So we were just meeting with the Hall of Fame committee. We just got all the nominations in for this upcoming class to put the ballot, to get the voting out. So we will be able to announce that, a little bit later this year. But we will do our celebration in the fall. We're actually waiting on a date and location. So it's either going to be here in Vail again. We may go to Beaver Creek. We're not sure yet. But we'll have a big celebration in the fall.
Yeah, but regardless, it's so cool that it's the Colorado Snow Sports Museum, and we have it right here in Vail.
Absolutely.
/ Beaver Creek. So, I mean, it's just so cool, the entire state's history. It's not just our history. It's the entire states that you guys are kind of covering there. What's something, you've been there a little while now, what's something you've kind of learned there, seen that kind of piqued your interest, that you're like, whoa, what was that?
Man, honestly, I've learned so many fun things. I don't even know where to start. I feel like we've trained a new employee, and me and my director were saying how we learn something every single day when we're there. So I don't even know what to narrow it down to because there's so many. Yeah. I get to teach other people things. We have a big table that's on all the resorts in Colorado, and it includes the lost resorts that don't exist.
Wow.
So I definitely learned some things on there. Like, people know about like Meadow Mountain, but they don't know that there was a chairlift, that there was they tried to make it happen, didn't work out, location, all that stuff. But there's some really cool things in there.
And that's so cool because that's where these rumors start. That's where everything kind of comes out of, and you guys kind of have the history there. One thing I'm kind of curious about is I'd love to work on something about the history of the trail names out here.
We are working on a book.
You guys on it right now?
So our 50th anniversary is coming up soon. We started in 1976. So we're coming up on our 50th, and we're really hoping we can get it out. It's really hard to get a book made, put it together, but we're working on that history. We already have some in our little notebook, but we're working on putting a book together because there's a lot of history that people don't know.
It's so cool, and I'm a big Beaver Creek guy, and I learned recently this year, one part of the mountain, all the trails are named after old farming equipment.
Yep.
And I had no idea
There's
about
farming
that.
equipment on Vail. There's logging stuff. I mean, we have 5,300 acres at Vail.
There's
There's 10th Mountain history. There's logging history. There's so many things on there. Yeah.
One I've been trying to find out at Beaver Creek, one of my favorite trails is Willie's Face, and I'm trying to figure out who was Willie.
I don't know, but we can try to figure it out for you.
Oh, you guys are on it. I love it. I love it. Anything else we should talk about? What else is going on over there in the next kind of couple weeks with this end of season stuff?
It's kind of slowing down in a good way. The sale is a big deal, honestly. Starting April 11th, get out there because what we have, and people are going to get it.
Yeah, it's like all the après sayings that are thrown on stuff. They got all that cool stuff. They got, something for everyone in your family. Stuffed animals. They got stuff for your grandparents. Just something for everyone.
Christmas ornaments, trail signs, tea towels. We've got it all.
April 11th. April 11th, you said it starts. And I'm
started.
marking my calendar because there is some awesome. There it is right there. Look at that vintage Vail, right?
And our website has not nearly as much stuff as we have in the store.
Yeah.
So come to the store, check it out. And honestly, like I said, we have those tours. The tours are running through pretty much the season. And I've never had a Vail local go on it that hasn't learned something.
Right.
It is very good. It walks around the village.
Yeah.
And just come hang out with us. We're there to talk. We're there to share stories. And there's so much in that museum.
And I know you can't say it, so I'll say it for you. It is free to check out the Snow Sports Museum. But they have a nice little donation box. Please just throw a $5 in there or something, okay? Like, this is a free thing you can do to spend some time in Vail, learn some history. So consider donating.
Yeah.
Consider just throwing whatever you got in there.
Yep.
What's looking ahead to the summer?
Yeah. So in the summer, we don't do as many events because we're at the Snow Sports Museum, but we are actually going to try to do a couple more things. We just had in our educational series a speaker, Rachel Gross. She talked about the history of like outdoor equipment, and we are going to try to bring her back to do like a summer version of that.
Yeah.
It was so cool. She's like an equipment historian, which is like not a thing I had known was there. I think she even says she claims that title and no one else really does. But it was fascinating talking about all these history of brands that we know now and where they started. So we're going to try to do a few of those things here and there. We get random pop-ups. We do the tours as well. The tours run throughout the summer.
Yeah.
So just come on by. It's a fun little spot.
It's a fun little spot. Always something going on. And like you said, you're going to learn something new every time you go in there. You could go in there for hours and still find something. I mean, there's 10th Mountain Division history.
Yeah.
There's ski racing history.
There's ski fashion.
The
There's
fashion
Vail
one,
specific.
the fashion one is so cool. The fashion one, if I'm right, it goes decade by decade, kind of. So you see how it's evolved over time. I mean, it is so cool in there. Obviously, I nerd out over kind of skiing and snowboarding stuff,
Hey,
right?
You're in the right place.
Right,
You're in good company.
exactly. Anything else I should ask you? Anything else people should know?
I mean, you can also, you talked about supporting us, throwing money in the donations. We also have, you can be a member. People are like, why would I want to be a member of a free museum? But what it does is it keeps everything alive. We have digital archives, all these things. We've had people reach out to us that need really important photos, and it's like big names, big things like Coors and things like that, and we have it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supporting. We do annual memberships. Normally our lowest level is a $75, but we've started this new campaign, pay your age. If you're under 50, pay your age for an annual membership. You're going to get discounts on the disco. You get 10% off in the museum when it's not our sale, all that good stuff. So a good way to support us is becoming a member.
Amazing.
Yep.
That pay for the age used to be really cool, and the older I get now, I'm like, that's kind of not cool anymore, you know?
Hey, you know what? It's great. You're supporting us.
Ashley, thanks so much for coming on and joining
Yes.
and talking about the Snow Sports Museum for quite a while now, joining us on the couch. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Absolutely.
Check out that Snow Sports Museum. Whenever, wherever, consider the event tomorrow, the silent disco, always a fun time at the Snow Sports Museum. And we'll be right back with the rest of the show.